is on. Okay, Victor, our switch is on. Here comes the throttle. Sugar breakers in. We have separation. Inboard, downboard, they're on. We have a board beside the table. I've got a blowout paper through it. Did you pitch this out? Pitch Steve Austin, astronaut. A man billion wanted. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was watching one of my favorite shows. But I'll get back to that. Since you're here, and since it's Saturday night, why not continue my tradition? I have two movies here, and I watched them earlier today. Let's review them. Okay, the first movie I'll be reviewing, of course, will be a movie that came out late last year, 2012. This is a it's called Hitchcock. There it is. There it is. Hitchcock, based on, this is a movie that's based on the filming of the 1959, 1960 movie Hitchcock. Okay, this stars, of course, Anthony Hopkins as Hitchcock, Helen Mirren as his wife, Alma Revelle, and this is basically their story during the filming of, the 1959 filming of, of Psycho. Okay, now the basic story of this is, of course, Alfred Hitchcock, of course, by then is well renowned and famous, so he's trying to come up with another story, okay, to film. And of course, critics are always saying that maybe he's finished, that there's another Hitchcock already out there. Like, I think there's even a scene where he's reading in the bathtub about the other Hitchcocks that are already out there, of course. And Helen Mirren is his wife, Alma Revelle, and she's kind of like his rock, his collaborator, and she assures him that don't worry, they always say that about you, you'll come up with another hit. And sure enough, he reads the book Psycho by Joseph Bloch, I believe that's the author's name. Joseph Bloch, Psycho, based on the real-life serial killer Ed Gein, and he reads it and he decides to make that his next movie. And of course, Paramount is very leery of the subject matter, and basically they don't want to film it. Actually, they want him to film another. I think there's even the executive says in the movie they want him to film another North by Northwest, but he wants to do Psycho. He feels that's what he wants to do, and of course, like I said, the studio doesn't really back him on it, so he basically self-finances by putting up his house and stuff, and putting up his house to film this. And this is the story of that filming, and also they have like a subplot of Alfred Hitchcock and his wife going through, I guess you call little marital problems with him, I guess being insecure when she wants to go out, because she's been his collaborator all throughout his whole career, and then she wants to go out on her own and venture out and collaborate with another writer. Okay, and of course, Hitchcock gets anxious about that. Anyway, let me tell you about the performances in this. I really like this film. Anthony Hopkins plays Hitchcock, and I thought he was great as Hitchcock. I thought he was hilarious because he's droll just like Hitchcock, and funny at the same time, and also insecure a lot of the time. You see in the movies, they're like really insecure. And Helen Mirren, I thought she was great. She was like this rock, who always had full confidence in Hitchcock, but she wants to do her own thing, and of course that leads to them having arguments and stuff. But at the end of the day, she's there for him when he needs her. Okay, and like you also have Scarlett Johansson in this. She plays Janet Leigh. Okay, was in Psycho. Of course, then you have Jessica Biel, who plays Vera Miles, who's also in Psycho. And then you have James Darcy. He plays not Anthony Hopkins. He plays Anthony Perkins, who of course is in Psycho. Their parts aren't as big in the movie. Well, I would think, and I thought all three of them did a good job of what they had. Their parts weren't as big. I kind of wish they concentrated more on the actual filming of Psycho, but they did show certain scenes and stuff on it, and like I said, I guess because this is based on a book, so I guess they decided to divvy the time on the filming and the struggles he had to go through to get this, the push to get this made, and also his personal life too. Okay, which wasn't as bad. So it was a good movie and definitely entertaining. And I like the intro of the movie when you have Anthony Hopkins standing out there like Hitchcock and talking about talking about Psycho and talking about the real life serial killer. I thought that was hysterical. And then the very last scene is is hysterical too. You have to see it to believe it. But this is an entertaining movie. Okay, like I said, I wish my only gripe with it, I guess, is that I wish they would have just focused more on, I guess, more on the filming. But I guess you have to get a kind of a balance between the his personal life and 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 the filmmaking. So which also his personal life, which influenced the filmmaking and stuff. So, but definitely great performances. I think even Helen Mirren that nominated for I think Golden Globe for Best Actress, and she's really good in this movie. Like I said, she's basically his rock, of course, but she she wants to do something on her own and strike out, and of course Hitchcock kind of resents that, and then their struggle to get this made, and it's a really good movie, and definitely worth picking up. Okay, so that's that movie. Okay, the next movie is a movie that I got actually in a trade with Rossi Boy 19, and the reason I got this movie is called In Bruges. Now, the reason I got this movie was because I saw a movie called Seven Psychopaths, which is this movie right here, and this was written and directed by Martin McDonagh, an Irish filmmaker, and they said, of course, I read this. I thoroughly enjoyed Seven Psychopaths, and I have a link to my review of this somewhere in here if you want to check that out. But anyway, it said that he did a movie called In Bruges, so I really like Seven Psychopaths, so I wanted to see what this was all about. Since it was by the same writer director. Okay, and basically this movie stars Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Ralph Fiennes, and it's about two Irish hitmen that after botching a hit, they get sent to by their boss. They get sent to Bruges, hence the title Bruges, Belgium. Okay, to lay low for about 2 weeks. The boss tells them, okay, to lay low for about 2 weeks until they hear from him. Okay, and Colin Farrell is Ray. He's the younger, of course, and he's the more uptight guy. Okay, and then you have Brendan Gleeson right there, who plays Ken. He's the more veteran. Okay, and then you have Ralph Fiennes right there, who plays Harry, the boss. Okay, now basically, like I say, supposed to hide out in Bruges, Belgium, which is like a tourist town, of course. But Ray is so anxious, and he hates, and he makes it. And what I love about this movie is, first of all, this is like a dark comedy drama, and with violence thrown in there. And Colin Farrell is a scream because he's anxious, and he makes all these jokes about hating being in Bruges, and all these jokes about Bruges, about he's just hysterical to me in this movie. Is the hitman Ray, the young antsy guy who's feeling guilt about the screwed up job that they did, the hit that they did. And then you have Brendan Gleeson, who's, like I say, he's the veteran, he's the more steady of the group, and he actually is enjoying being in Bruges and seeing the local history and stuff, and the buildings and stuff, and he really likes it. And then you have Ralph Fiennes as the boss, Harry, who basically curses every 5 seconds. I think every fourth word out of his mouth is fuck. Okay, he's hysterical. There's great performances by the actors in this, especially Colin Farrell and Ralph Fiennes. They're absolutely hysterical in this movie. And like I said, they're supposed to lay low in Bruges, not cause any waves, but just lay low in Burgess until they hear from the big boss Harry, played by Ralph Fiennes. But of course, since Colin Farrell's character Ray is kind of he's anxious, and he can't be steady, he can't be calm. He's always got to constantly move, and he hates being in Burgess to begin with. So he actually goes out. He actually while Ken, played by Brendan Gleeson, is enjoying like I said, the local history and stuff, and the local monuments and stuff, he's, Ray's constantly looking to get drunk. And one night he actually meets a young lady who was working on a film, and then he actually meets a midget. Okay, he meets prostitutes, and it's just a bunch of weird. I don't want to spill too much about it, but he meets a whole bunch of different characters. Okay, and basically his reactions to those characters are what makes this movie hysterical. And he's absolutely, like I said, he's going through this. He's feeling guilt about the hit, without spoiling what the hit was. He's feeling guilt about that, and he's anxious, and he hates being where he is. Okay, and Brendan Gleeson's character Ken is trying to calm him down. And then of course you have Ralph Fiennes' character of Harry, who's the boss, who's basically trying to run things and correct what they screwed up, what the two hitmen screwed up. And like I said, it's a great mix of comedy, and just like Seven Psycho has comedy, you got drama, a lot of dark humor and violence in this, and it's just a really entertaining movie. Definitely worth seeing. So I definitely highly recommend you see this. I would give it Burgess 8 out of 10. Okay, Hitchcock, like I said, I enjoyed it. I think I would have liked a little bit less or a little bit more. I think if they'd have concentrated more on the actual filming of Psycho. I mean, they did show them filming certain things and coming up with certain ideas, which I thought was great. But I guess they had to balance it out with his personal life, which did influence his making of the movie. So I guess that that's what's to be expected. So I would give this movie a 7 out of 10. Okay, definitely good performances by the cast. Okay, and like I said, in Burgess, I give it an 8 out of 10. Just absolutely great. Or maybe 8.5. Maybe, yeah, 8.5. I was gonna give it a 9, but no movie's absolutely. I'll give it. You know what? I'll give it a 9. A 9 out of 10. I really liked In Burgess. It was just funny, dark comedy, violence, and just really entertaining and original to me. Okay, I really liked it. Hitchcock, 7 out of 10. Okay, so if you've seen these movies, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave your comments down below. Okay, and I'm going to go back to watching $6 Million Man. Okay, so it's Trepacer saying so long and take care.
Steve Austin will be that man. Better than he was before.